Why don't you tell us what you learned this week? I often do, and I will. This concerns me as I'm from New Hampshire. A bill has been proposed in the New Hampshire House which, if passed, would allow business owners to discriminate against same-sex couples on religious grounds. The bill says, quote, "Notwithstanding any other provision of law, no person, including a business owner or employee thereof, shall be required to provide services to an individual if the request is related to the solemnization, celebration, or promotion of a marriage, and providing such services would be a violation of the person's conscience or religious faith." Now, the intent of the bill, I'm sure, is probably to explicitly allow a church that opposes same-sex marriage to deny marriage ceremonies to same-sex couples, which I'm actually fine with, because why would you want to get married in a church that hates you? Especially since same-sex marriage is, from a legal point of view, completely non-religious. Same-sex marriages have been officially recognized in New Hampshire since January 1st, 2010, and on January 1st, 2011, all existing civil unions became marriages. However, this bill, like many bills, contains some slippery wording where the terms aren't clearly defined, because it would end up giving business owners the power to refuse services to any kind of couple that they oppose on religious grounds, including same-sex couples, interracial couples, interfaith couples, you name it. It would also prohibit the victim from filing legal complaints against the business, which is in clear violation of the Civil Rights Act. I doubt it'll pass, especially since New Hampshire's same-sex marriage laws already make churches and religious groups not required to officiate same-sex marriages. But what do you think? Should a business owner be allowed to decide whom and whom not to serve on religious grounds? This week I learned that the first woman known to have circumnavigated the globe did so disguised as a man. In the 1750s, Jeanne Baret served for 2 years as a botanist on board a sailing vessel under the male name Jean. She had to keep her chest bound and pretended to have been castrated by Turks in order to avoid having to disrobe or relieve herself in front of the other sailors, all the while sharing a cabin with her employer and lover, Philibert de Commerson. Eventually she was found out, she had a child, her lover died, and she returned to France and married. Her work and the circumstances under which she did that work are truly amazing, and we would all do well to remember the name Jeanne Baret. In science-type news, let's talk about graphene. Graphene is an allotrope of carbon consisting of a single atom-thick, honeycomb-shaped lattice of carbon atoms. The material has a number of really interesting properties, such as having a breaking strength 200 times greater than steel. More recently, however, it has been discovered that graphene is actually a perfect water filter. A sheet of graphene will allow water vapor to pass through, but block all other molecules, so it can be used for purification of water from any source. Now, some people are saying that this is a miracle that will end the water crisis in impoverished countries, but that's absolutely ridiculous. Graphene is still pretty expensive to make, and there are already a lot of good solutions out there to the problem of water purification. Ordinary water vapor is already very pure, and ordinary distillation and condensation methods, such as the Watercone, are already very effective and cheaper to produce. So graphene is awesome, but also probably overkill. This has just been some stuff that I learned this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to do all that YouTube stuff, like, comment, share, subscribe, and have an awesome whatever.